Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, coming live from Five Your Heart, children of God. I'm going to read this article as quick as I can through the Patriot Supply. This news article they send out, you can actually get it to your email. This is from February 15th. This is called it was right there. The Survival Scout tips. Now, and obviously then there's an overlap in there a couple times of ads, to get you to buy from them. Okay. Beef shortages are coming. Prepare now. I think they're already here, but they have been a while. But they're doing it a different way. This is gonna discuss the bugs and stuff. Hopefully, I can stay calm enough to get through it. My pink bike is fun. It's so different. I mean, like it's not even like, it's not the same at all as to get on the mountain bike. So I'm having to adjust. That's all in the steering in the front. There ain't no leaning or nothing. It's a cruiser. Mine says a drifter. Probably. That's funny. Okay, there's a beef shortage coming in February 2024. The USDA announced that the American beef industry hit a record low with, don't mind me just stretching a bit, with beef cattle inventory dropping to 28.2 million this year, the lowest level since the 1970s. Agricultural economists blame it on an ongoing drought along with high feed costs and inflation. Just practice with the old ones here. Oh. Others report high prices are due to ranchers having fewer cattle. That's not funny. I've seen those like super duper expensive ranches. I went on the sites to see what was going on when I first was hearing about this. And you're talking about 3 to 4, I don't know if there'd be 4 generations you could call it, but Idaho, those regions where, I mean, some of the most expansive ranches being just not liquidated, they're expensive. So then probably what's going to happen is then like Bill Gates and them, they just make a deal or figure something out. I have this idea for Bill Gates and Fauci in the basement, but I probably can't discuss that here. I have a bug problem a little bit, and I was wondering if they wanted to come here. I'd have a special seating arrangement for them, and then I would serve them plates of these one bugs with it's like the remnants of, like, I don't know if it's limestone or what down there. I don't think so. I think limestone is pretty strong or not. No, I don't know. This is a very strong stone. The house is pretty old, so I thought then I'd give them a plate of that, and then I had another idea, but there's too many of them, but I just thought those two, because they look like little Weasleys, like little demons. I think I could just pick them right up and show them where I would like them to stay for a while. Thought you were just going to read the article, Heather. Others report high prices are, oh, boop, 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 boop. Okay, other report high prices are due to ranchers having fewer cattle. Others report, while these factors may contribute to fewer cattle and higher prices, something more sinister is at play. There is a war on food unfolding, with meat at the center of the battle. Read on to discover the alarming reality of meat in America and how to prepare for exorbitant prices and coming shortages. Most beef sold in the USA is not from the USA. If you ask most Americans where their meat comes from, they mistakenly believe it comes from cattle farms in the USA. The truth is, the majority of beef Americans purchase in the States comes from other countries. White Oak Pastures explains. Our beef imports come from all over the world, apparently now including Paraguay. Other countries import from include, but are certainly not limited to, Brazil, Uruguay, Australia, Namibia, New Zealand, Mexico, Canada, Japan, China, and the list continues. The beef we import is mostly lean meat trim, and like 50-50 trim is really not a marketable product as a standalone item. I might start, like, my face might start making contortions because I think about travel time, and then we're just, okay, mixing meats together, and when we mix 50-50, multinational packers can create a product many of us know well. 80-20 or 90-10, meaning 80 and then 20, you know what I'm saying? Ground beef today, thanks to the fact that there is no mandatory country of origin labeling law, consumers are consuming beef raised and slaughtered in these foreign countries under the guise that it's a product of the USA. Now, I was wondering if maybe they were knocking the thing out, and I do order from them, but maybe they don't want it going out to everyone. It's not just beef being imported. Did you know that 74% of our lamb is imported into the USA as well? We used to have 56 million head of lamb just 3 generations ago. Now we have only 5 million head. Let me give you a second with that. Especially if you're not a numbers person, I struggle with some numbers. Like, I wanted to know what, like, 80 billion would look like, you know, but then I got to see it, like, on a graph. You ain't going to be able to be like, well, it would be about, like, one bar. I need to see, like, how many land masses, approximate, things like that. So, yeah, just let that sink in. I might need to stop, but we'll see, because this video might shut out. I didn't clean the trash, and I got some longer ones I need to clear. So then when I get in court and they say, is this you? Please state your name, any aliases, please. Any nicknames for the judge? Well, sir, I've had very many through the decades. I mean, I'll do my best to remember all of them. Where did you use these aliases, Miss Drew? Well, different occasions. Would you be more specific? Want to make sure your family has protein meat in USA? Stock up on our protein builder case pack. Farmers are being forced out. Our local farmers are being regulated out of business, which is one of the main reasons there are fewer U.S. cattle for beef. Recent regulations. See, I need to make this like more specific for those that may not understand. Oh, who's going to replace the farmers? Is that, how many are getting that? Nobody. No, a normal Joe that he could even probably farm pretty well can't buy some billion-dollar ranch with thousands and thousands of acres. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And they're making a fuss if someone tries to do their own thing. Do you realize that God's so upset with America? We'll say North America, but that he's going to let us eat bugs. And those of us that knew what was on the horizon to a certain, I never had bugs in mine. Boy, that's that. Talk about creative, Satan. Oh, are we gonna be eating some of these? How about we fry them up and toast them up and just chomp on them? Must have been when they were doing those videos and people go and try exotic food, and then they were trying to make it seem like this is a delicatessen. And you know, it might be some places, but a lot of us don't come from that heritage. So me jumping up, and I had these anoles for my son when he was little. We had to get them crickets all the time because that's what kept them going. They love the crickets. The anoles are real tiny, so we had to get like the baby ones. And I just need to like clarify bugs in general. Especially crickets and some of those types, grasshoppers, crickets, they get these weird ass parasites, or they just have them by nature. So since I can't get more parasites in you through the water, the food, regular food, not bugs yet, vaccines, pills, pharmaceutical, since I can't get the parasites to you that way, and definitely don't smoke organic tobacco or have it burning anywhere near, because it actually will ward off parasites. Do not put organic tobacco around your edges as long as you don't have any like smaller pets and things, because it will deter more of the pesky ones that mess up your stuff that you're growing, things like that. I mean, do not use any tobacco products. They're going to kill you. And then what we need you to do is we need you to take your pills, and we need you to take your vaccines. And since not enough people are doing it, we're going to have to get those parasites in you some way. Parasites go in and they start to attack parts of the body that can do this. It can attack parts of the organs. It can deplete your nutrients levels in certain areas of your body. It's really quite involved. So it's like that's why I recommend the edible the edible diatomaceous clay, there's 2 of them. Let's see, every time I do this, I get messed up. So sometimes some ass will just flag, like, I don't know. So we're going to just try to continue this because I said I wasn't going to go off topic, and I am. And it looks like I could scroll down about 3 or 4 more times, and I'm not even done. So I'm going to try to speed that up a bit, okay? And how about we just say we're getting the point? They're getting pushed out. A bunch of people are stating this. I gave you a few numbers, alarming numbers at that. Sullivan agrees regulations and the anti-animal ideology are making it harder, but adds the WEF 2030 agenda. 2030 is not far off. That's like 5 or 6 years. Now, if you're young, that could seem farther off. When you get older, time starts to close in. So 5 years is like 1. And the push to regulate our farmers or of business will lead to mass starvation. I just did a foot detox ionic foot bath, so I just need a second. Now the thing is about my free bike though, I think it was really made for a tall woman. That's what I'm getting here, but we're gonna work on it anyways. We'll try to make it work. Oh gosh. Just this week, Glenn Beck spoke with Shad Sullivan, the Republican CAF USA RCAF USA Private Property Rights Committee chair. Sullivan agrees regulations and the anti-animal ideology are making it harder, but adds that the Agenda 2030 farmers will lead to mass starvation. So see, this is the thing. Since they already started the wipeouts, that's not enough time to make the stop, see? Because we couldn't stop enough of it in the beginning because the government got too big because we were all just on our cell phones and stuff and we just weren't even paying attention. We had to get to work. You had to pay your bills, right? It's not really any of the common man's faults. You had to focus on work. You had to focus. If I didn't have help here with, I would have to be finding a way to probably get the pink bike, down the road and go find the nearest ditch to live in. So all we have to do is look to Mayo. All we have to do is look to Mayo for how this plays out. Shad continues. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I skipped too much there. So just have to watch there. Shad continues. We are on the cusp of something very dangerous. Americans don't wake up. And I don't say that to scare people. I say it because independent production, independent consumption, independent thought is so important, especially right now. And then there's an interview you can watch. So like I said, you can get this to your email. And you can read it yourself. Hopefully you can still read. Because I heard that that's not what's going on with the kids at school. I guess we're just being taught sex and how to have sex with each other. And maybe have sex with the teachers back in the craft room or whatever. I was looking at that cute pink bike. It's just too cute. But I must say, I think it's for a taller woman. We put the seat all the way down. We can't move the handle. Oh my God. All right. If that isn't disturbing enough, most of our meat, the majority of meat processing in the U.S. is controlled by only 4 companies: Tyson, Cargill, Gill at the end, like Jill, Cargill, JBS, and National Beef. 85% of U.S. beef market is controlled by these companies. We'll just try this, like some lighting options. If that isn't disturbing enough, most of our meat industry is under foreign ownership. UBS USA Holdings Inc. is a meat processing company. Don't ask. I don't know. I'm just laughing because I don't know. Like I said, I can't cry all the time. That's specific for hormone thing and stuff. And when it's just it's like to think that we could upset Creator God so much that he's just like, y'all gonna done eat bugs. And then a bunch of us could be like, well, we didn't want to eat bugs. We knew what was going on. But see, that's how the trolley goes, like the one where people have to move their feet together to get the trolley to work. But not everyone's moving their feet. You know what I mean? So the trolley can't get where it needs to go. can't do much more tap dancers. They're doing their Fight Club rope toy operation. I just peg bags around. They have them strategically placed, and they think I don't know, like, what is going on. If this isn't disturbing enough, most of our meat industry is under foreign ownership. JBS USA Holdings Inc. is a meat processing company and a wholly owned subsidiary of subsidiary of the Brazilian multinational JBS, and then capital S dot, period, capital A, period. So JBS. National Beef is controlled by Brazilian beef producer Marfrig Global Foods SA. Cargill is America's largest privately owned company. Tyson is also American owned. I mean, that's been a while. I mean, Tyson, most of us are probably getting it. Like, if you're not rich and yuppie-ish and just fucking like money bagging, you can't get quality enough food. He's still on it's like a permanent layoff, but they're shifting things a bit. But the way the prices went up, and then I flipped over a bag of frozen vegetables. We got somewhere, I'll just say random, and they're from China, and I get them out, and I'm rinsing them because to cook them, like when I put them in like a rice dish or something. So I rinse them, and well, now I have to check everything because the inside of the carrots. So say one of the carrot rounds was like that, and like there's like a ring of black. They're not out of date. It said 25, and just things like that, because of all the radiation in the towers. So food's rotting from the inside out. I've discussed this several times. It just depends on how long it's been moved around, and obviously the longer shipments. What was the other weird one I saw? I was like, these like frozen peas or something are from like Belgium or something. I'm like, so they're gonna have this where we don't have. God is so mad, you guys. If we could have just left the kids alone, even, and maybe cut back on the gay parades. I think I never knew about them really. I was curious about one once, and I was supposed to meet with my sister, but I canceled because I couldn't sleep, and I was having a migraine. And then like something went haywire that between the night before we doing like jumps in the backyard. Like, yeah, I could really do that. And I was, well, anyhow, so and I think I just started dabbling again in the drink. But anyhow, so here we're going to keep this going. National Beef is controlled by Brazilian beef producer Marfrig Global Foods SA, same as the SA above. Cargill is America's largest privately owned company. Tyson is also American owned. WH Group, JBS, Hormel, and Tyson control about 67% of the pork market. The WH Group is the largest pork company in the world and is owned by China. So what I think is the best idea is when there's been something released in the lab, like, oopsie, those are super duper strong parasites that create a vast array of illnesses if we cook again with nanotechnologies, with the cell phones and the Wi-Fi and towers. And they can just go in the body and start just choking parts of the body so people drop dead just out of nowhere. Just an athlete marathon guy and just falling over. You know what I mean? And as mentioned above, so we should definitely be getting our food from China. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? Hormel, well, and you'll be like, well, that has nothing to do with the food production there. You don't think everyone there had to get how many shots and all that, and then they're handling the food's being processed, and then, oh Lord, what is this one today? The WH Group is the largest, okay, we're going to go down. I was just supposed to read it. Tyson, not react to it. Tyson and Pilgrim's Pride control about 45% of the chicken market. In fact, Tyson and Cargill are leading the fake meat market. This is where it gets fun. It'll cut. I've been on too long because I didn't clear. In October 23, Tyson invested in Protix, Protix, a Netherlands-based insect ingredients maker. Tyson is not only taking a minority stake in the company, but also working alongside it to build a U.S. factory. Cargill invested in Beeflick, a Belgian food tech company. Didn't I just say Belgium? Let's just hope I said something else, like Denmark or some food tech company whose plant-based ingredients are used to produce faux meat and fish. Get your faux furs on, get your faux meat. Eat some bug flour that makes your bread sweet. Elites lobbying for synthetic lab-grown meat. In addition to farmers being forced out of business. Oh, that's not funny. And mass consolidate. Which ones do you prefer? Very flat, or smiling, or the rage ones. I love the rage ones. In addition to farmers being forced out of business and mass consolidation of the meat processing industry, there's also the issue of elites using their money to change America's food landscape. Thanks, Bill Gates. Oh, look, he's mentioned right here. For example, Bill Gates is buying up massive amounts of farmland and he isn't stopping. Mr. Bill and Mr. Fauci, do you want to come visit? I want to see the house I'm fixing up. Boop, boop. All right. Not get fixed up before I'm like 6 feet under. No little girl here is eating no bugs. I'll find some twigs and berries before I fucking try that. Take my chances with some twigs and berries if it comes to that. And oh shit. That was just a mix of shit. I don't know. For example, Bill Gates is buying a okay, Bill Gates. Let's just. Oh, is this important? Bill Gates has already said we should not eat beef unless it's grown in a lab, and he is actively looking for opportunities to create, promote, and sell synthetic meat. Gates told MIT Technologies, I do not think all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. You can get used to the taste difference. I do think all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef, sorry. You can get used to the taste difference. And the claim is they're going to make it taste even better over time. If you'd rather not get used to the taste difference, stock up on the Mega Protein Kit with real meat. And I do recommend that. This is mid-grade pricing. This isn't going to be your special-ish, like, organic, crazy, wild organic. No, something to keep it the shelf life longer. I mean, this is like, for survival. And some people can't afford that. So it's like, this is a mid-grade. You can go a little lower. I don't recommend going lower price. But now their prices had to go up too. And most people, like I said, unless you're money bagging, can't get the, like. Gatestream is already coming to fruition. Lab-grown meat or cell-cultured meat, which is grown from real animal cells, has already been approved for sale in the U.S. Good Meat recently received FDA approvals for lab-grown poultry, which involves using a big tank similar to those that ferment beer to grow cells. Then, according to the San Francisco Examiner, after around 6 weeks, the cells are ready to be meatified. Yum. I can't wait. How about some... I think they've already got a lot of this out there in like the dollar stores and stuff. We bought a thing of meat to see what it looked like, and we compared it to what we got at the farm just to see its texture and because a lot of this has been going on for over 10 years or more. It's just some people it wasn't caught up. And so the 3D printer, that sounds fun. So lab babies, we can make babies in labs or keep them in labs. Abort them early, put them in labs, do a bunch of tests and genetic testing on them. Cut off limbs, cut off penises, and invert penises and whatever goes on there with the pump thing. And I had a hard time. I really wanted to do on that very professional show with Candace and see what this transgender Amanda, a woman, her experience with her butt surgery. I got a little scared because I was like, what sort of, okay, let's not, I just, if you'd rather not eat 3D printed meat and eggs, well, by golly, I sure don't. Stock up on Ready Hour freeze-dried white meat chicken and whole egg powder. Bugs appearing on grocery store shelves already. See, that's where we want to, because this, we can't say that this is whatever. In addition to lab-created meat products, there is also a push for humans to start eating bugs from protein. And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is backing All Things Bugs, a company claiming to be the world's leading innovator in the insect industry. Do you love your animals?